The Dorm Disorder podcast contains real stories, adult language, and occasional chaos. Some content may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Now on to the episode. Welcome back to the Dorm Disorder podcast. This is part 2.
But besides basketball, you also coached a bit of the track team.
Did a little bit of track, yes.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of track. Again, that's another thing that I stumbled upon. Rick Leak was the boys track coach, and
Yep.
he did a phenomenal job. And we were sitting in the lounge one day, and he was talking about how if he didn't find a girls track coach, then he was going to have to do both. He was going to have to coach the boys and the girls track team. And, he just, you have any track experience? I said, well, I ran track. Just to, pat myself on the back here. I did anchor a Penn Relay Championship team in high school. And he said, you want to coach the girls track team? You got to coach the girls track team. I said, well, is there a stipend with it? He goes, yeah, it's X number of dollars. I said, okay. So, and we had you remember Lynn Satchel, she was,
of course,
fast as heck.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Ellis was fast. Stephanie Ruffin was fast. And even Atia Harmon, that was our 4x100 relay team. I remember going up to the state championships with Leak, and that was another great weekend. We would drive the van, and we'd have our own hotel room, and they would give us a ton of money, and all the kids had their own room, and we stayed there. It was another bachelor weekend for Leak and me. But when we went up there one year, I remember Lynn won the 200.
Yep.
She placed in the 100. Our 4x1, I think, placed third. So we had a good number of years there where we brought home a lot of medals, a lot of accolades, and we had that terrible track out the cinder track that wasn't
It was a circle of dirt.
Yeah, exactly right.
With pebbles.
Yeah, pebbles.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't even 400 meters. It was terrible.
Yeah. So pretty much all of our meets were away because we really didn't have a track.
Or that wood mess down in the armory that you had to run
it
on.
was great for, wrestling season or basketball season when you just want to do a couple quick laps, but
it's not an
more
indoor
of a
track.
balcony.
And I remember being down there with the basketball team and just people running up there. You always thought, I was so afraid that somebody was going to fall through it, that the noise that it would make, those planks had to be there. The original planks with the school when it was built. So, I was. Have they redone that or anything?
I don't know.
I know they just redid the
court.
bleachers.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah, they just redid the bleachers in the basketball court. I do know that, but I don't know if the track. They still have the images on the walls up there from at least the 70s, right? The dude kicking that soccer ball.
That's probably from the 50s or 40s, I think, man.
Yeah.
So
there's some renovation.
The court looks great. I went to one Founders Day and went to the alumni basketball game, and then I watched the Adam Sandler movie where they filmed.
Oh yeah, where they changed
Hustler.
the name.
Yeah, they had that scene.
Yes.
In the gym. We had a few. Remember?
Just a lot of movies.
Rocky 4.
Yeah, no, Creed. It was the Creed 2 or 3.
But I think Rocky 4 too, when Dolph Lundgren, the Russian, was training.
Yeah.
It was at Girard.
That would be new.
It was
Girard.
Oh yeah. It was down at the Armory.
Okay.
I remember it. Yeah, and they have him running up on top of the track, and they have him getting injected with steroids down below, and you can see the top of the track. Yeah, check it out. Even though it was a terrible movie, watch. And if you guys,
hey now, we're gonna
that's the greatest Rocky of all time.
Yes,
we defeated the Soviets. Too. Okay, yes,
that was such a terrible movie. Terrible,
great movie.
Drago.
If you remember, also, I think you guys are still here. Remember we were filming 12 Monkeys while you guys were still in school here.
Yes.
Joe was there. I was gone at that
point. I was crowned, there's the one scene where the 3 doctors are questioning him to ask if he's crazy. We left those tables there for prom, and you can see pictures of me being prom king at prom in front of those tables where they filmed the 12 Monkeys.
No kidding.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to see Bruce Willis leave Founders Hall. I was just watching from the window, and I saw him come out of Founders Hall.
One morning we were going to the laundry, and they had a food cart in the back. So we used to leave early to walk around the back of Founders Hall to drop off our dirty clothes. Madeline Stowe was out there.
Yes.
And yeah, she just had her glasses on. Like, I mean, you got this dark curly hair. We know who it is.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful.
We also didn't care.
And they filmed part of that also at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, we got Transformers that was filmed there. Annapolis that was filmed there.
Yeah.
We got a few movies.
Airbender.
Last Airbender, yes. Yes. Quite a few.
I won't disparage Rocky ever again. So.
Yeah, not 4. You can
Sorry,
talk
Dan.
about 5. 5 sucked.
We all know I hate Philly, but like even talking about Rocky to me is like fighting words. Like you can't do that.
Rocky's is my all-time favorite movie. They ruined it. They ruined it with 4 and 5.
They did. Well, yeah, 5 was terrible.
So I absolutely love the fact that you have such a strong relationship with a Girard student and my classmate, Lynn Satchel.
Yes.
Tell me, like, from, outside in, what was that like after school? How did that manifest as like a post-graduation for her and post-leaving Girard for you?
It started in class. I had her, I remember her sophomore year in geometry, and she always struggled with math. And she would stay after school and help her. And, she didn't have a great relationship with her father at the time. I think he may have even been incarcerated for a bit. So I guess, she looked at me as a father figure.
Yeah.
And then when track started, we got closer. And then when she graduated, we still maintained that relationship. And it got to the point where when she got married, she asked me to walk her down the aisle.
That is just honestly amazing.
It was probably the paramount of my teaching career. No, yeah. I mean, you tell people, you touch so many students. Well, not inappropriately. But I have touched many students, but just in a figurative way. Right.
A non-physical way.
Don't take that literally. Yes.
You touch their minds.
Exactly. Yes. And their souls.
There you go.
Correct. Okay. If not, we'll edit. If it comes off as pervy, we got to cut that out. No, but again, it was the absolute Mount Rushmore of, an educational experience as a teacher, because here I am. I taught her, I coached her, and walked her down the aisle to get married. And then she has her first child, and she asked me to be the godfather. And my mother, who was ill and recently passed, Lynn is a nurse. So when I took my mother for her chemo appointments or any appointments that she had in different hospitals, I would reach out to Lynn because she's a registered nurse, and she'd be able to get me into certain places, earlier, or make sure that, there was a nurse there or a doctor there that she knew that could cater to. So, she's been absolutely fantastic right up until, the last month. So yeah, it's a very, very special relationship that the two of us have.
So you really got 4 girls.
Yeah. I say that. I say that all the time. Yeah. She's my 4th daughter. Yeah. No doubt.
Well, she'd be the oldest, though.
Yeah, she will be the oldest. Yes. Yeah.
It's a beautiful story, though.
Yeah. It is. It really is. It really, really is.
And that speaks to the very beginning when we were talking about just the family feeling at Girard College. Like there's so many things we talk about where the students who left and did not graduate, and they left in 8th grade and 7th grade and a little bit later than that. And they come back for Founders Day, and you walk into National Mechanics on a Friday night and you see faces of people who didn't graduate, but we still all feel connected.
Yeah.
We all went through the similar experience. And it speaks to you guys coming in that were that younger age too, because not only were you mentors, but as I stated on our call, we're kind of like big brothers and big sisters, because a lot of you were not that much older than me.
No.
And it just gave that sense of, it became like peer-to-peer conversation sometimes. If I was messing up, it was more of a, not a stern talk, but like, here, you got to get this together, and here's why. And you kind of resonated with me more than people paddling me or making me grudge, if they talk to me as a person and say, this is what you need to do to get yourself together.
And I say this still to this day. I mean, you guys spent more time with us than you did with your actual families.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's, again, that speaks to the relationships that you built at Girard. It was just, it was just so unique and so special. And I hate to beat a dead horse, but you really had to live it to understand it. You just can't tell anyone about it. You can't. Absolutely not.
Well, normally another student, I would ask them the magic question at this point, which is, tell us your tale of dorm disorder. You being a teacher, you don't have any dorm disorder.
No, I don't. I have a lot of disorders, but I don't have any dorm disorders.
Well, I would like you to reach into the closet and, I don't know, pick up a nice sized bone, like maybe a femur.
Okay.
Why don't you tell us something that we don't know?
Oh, man, there are a lot of things that I could tell, but I know I have a funny story. I mean, I could tell you a funny story. So, and you'd never get away with it in this day and age. But back in the day, you could get, you guys could get detention, but it wasn't like a normal school. So it's not like we were holding you from the bus where you could go home and, my mom's got a sandwich waiting for me. You guys would take detention and it really wouldn't mean anything to you. So I was always of the ilk. Public humiliation was a better form of discipline than actually giving a detention or disciplining someone in the class. So I guess it was my third or fourth year there, and I had already established myself as, he's funny and he likes to bust on the kids and this and that and the other. So I remember, and I'm sure she won't mind me telling this story, so I'll just use her initials.
Okay.
Aisha Logan.
Eesh.
Yes. Who's another former student that I still keep in contact with. She lives close to Fairmount. I've been to her kids go to Girard.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm right down the road, and she'll call me every now. Hey, he's playing basketball, and I'll walk up, and they have a football team now I didn't know of. So
707.
I'm going down I'm going down a different path. So I had Aisha in math 2 years in a row. This was the second year. So I guess it was geometry. I had her in algebra 1 and then geometry the second year. So, and, no teacher wants students to come in late. It's kind of it's a slap in the face. And it's not like, your bus was, you guys, you live here. There's no reason for you to be late. So she comes in one day and she's about 3 or 4 minutes late, and her hair is it's all over the place, and she's angry. Something must have happened that caused her to be late, and she had to rush. So she comes in and she walks right to the door and just looks at me and says, Martino, don't you dare say anything to me about being late. And she sits down and everything's quiet. And I said, Aisha, don't take it out on me that you didn't have time to put your weave together this morning. But again, back, and the relationship that the teachers had with the students, you could do that. That's a true story. And she'll tell you that's a true story. And the best part was, of course, her classmates giggled. Yeah. And she even giggled too. So, I knew that A, she'd never be late again, and B, she'd probably do her hair before my class. But again, that was, I did that for 34 years. I always made it a point, good, bad, or indifferent. Again, whoever's watching, if somebody in education is watching this and wants to find me and say, I can't believe you even talked about that. I always made it a point not to embarrass someone, but to kind of put them on the spot the first day so that they knew, man, you know what? Him busting on me in front of my friends, that's worse than giving detention. So I'm going to sit there with my hands folded and I'm not going to get out of line because I know he's going to crack on me. So yeah, the cracks were better than the detention, but that's one of my all-time favorite stories. Absolutely. Yeah. Loved it.
It's just kind of wild to me. I'm just like, it just hit me like mentally, like, oh, you're Gen X too. Like, it just makes sense.
Yes.
That's, of course you're this way. This our whole generation is wrong.
We were all brutal to each other.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just,
That was the best part.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, Rick Leak and Fish and Kazemple, you know, it would go outside the classroom too. I mean, we'd go into the faculty lounge and we'd bust each other's chops.
Yeah.
It was great. And, I mean, the faculty lounge was a completely different entity back in the day too. You go in there. I mean, I'm surprised that I never got emphysema from being
The smokers.
right? Well, you remember you walked down the hallways
between Carpet and Leak.
But Leak. So Michael, there'd be times like Leak would be in his class and he'd have to get a cigarette so bad he would run into the lounge, and it was always Ralph, give me 10. Ralph would run in, cover his class for about 10 minutes. Leak would do his smoke, and then it would probably go 15 or 20. But it was the smoking in there was outrageous. And again, now this day you can't
smoke anywhere.
Nowhere,
Yeah.
Nowhere. And you're ostracized. People are looking at you like you have
like, oh my God, you
three heads.
smoke still?
You smoke? What are you doing? I can't believe you smoke. So yeah, it was a different age
time,
back then. Yeah, it really was. But again, and you'd have, and we talked about this before too. There was always a can of Mr. Evans cookies. And they were, he was a great teacher. He was another one that would, rip your head off in the middle.
Oh,
So
yeah, we know.
He was an angry man, but
Yeah.
made the best cookies on the planet. Best cookies on the planet.
Angry teacher, angry house parent. I had him as a house parent.
He was a house parent?
Yes.
Oh yeah. He was brutal.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely brutal.
I mean, I don't want to turn the tables and start asking
No,
questions.
it's fine.
So who started out as, I know Carp did. I didn't know Evans.
Fisher?
Fisher did as
Fish
well.
was a house parent too?
Yep, correct. Yep.
Kazemple?
No.
Kaz, I don't know.
No?
I don't know if Kaz was or not.
No. And then we just had the security guard, Mr. Kuntz. He was also both, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna rope him in there with y'all because for at least for us, y'all probably didn't interact with him as much as we did, but like he definitely had that security / house parent vibe. He knew what we was cutting up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
Ahead of time.
That's how I got a security guard story that I'm ending this episode with. So it's funny you should bring that up. But when he was a house parent, I would complain about something and he'd pull his eyelid down.
Yes.
And goes, Dan, see anyone in there that cares? I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like, I was like a young kid. I'm like, I don't understand, but like, and then the world's smallest violin.
Yeah.
He used to rub his fingers together.
And Evans also had nicknames for everybody. And some of them were not flattering at all.
No, we had a nickname for him.
Well,
we called him Mr. Belvedere. I mean, we did.
yeah.
That's very appropriate.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the sweater vest and the
Yeah.
ties all the time.
Yeah, he did dress to the nines. He really did.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was an angry man. Now, what about, again, I don't want to take control, but I got to ask the scaling of the wall. And I remember hearing stories about it, and you guys would go over the wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, where? Like at the far end of campus?
The
And
best
what would you hit? Like the
spot
convenience stores?
Where's your best spot?
right behind Banker Hall on the left-hand side. The wall was lowest to get up it and the lowest on the way down. So there's a lot of spots on that wall where you can get up there easy, but once you get up there and you look down on the other side, the ground is not level and it's further down. So behind Banker, though, it was a easy spot. It was only about 9-10 feet.
And what'd you do? Just go to 7-Eleven or something and just
Armory. Yeah, I mean, down by
the
the armories
armory.
where we
That was
behind
awesome.
the armory.
Yeah.
There's a pole right there that just you could help boost yourself up.
And what would happen if you got caught? Did you ever get caught?
So getting back in was always, because it wasn't always easy to climb over the wall to get back in.
Yeah.
So sometimes if I didn't feel like climbing back over, I would just walk in through the gate.
Yeah. So that was a funny thing, like, especially because, like, if you weren't too young,
Yeah.
like, and you went off campus and you wasn't supposed to, a lot of times you would just walk back in and be like, what? No, what? And just go right past security. They didn't pay enough attention, or you had enough interference going for you.
Yeah.
And there was no.
Yeah, we went to the store. Like
Okay.
I would go to get 40s.
Yeah, we would buy beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a corner store that wasn't too far down. So I'd get some Crazy
And-
Horse and some St. Ides.
Did you have a fake ID or something?
No.
No,
No.
the people that ran the store didn't care. As long as I came in with a 20, I had enough to pay for everything. I get 3 bottles of 40s and just.
Do you remember Kip Wardell?
Oh,
Big white kid.
Yes.
Yeah, and had full beard at
Yeah.
16. Yeah,
Got
Kip
it.
would just walk into the store right at the corner of Corinthian and Fairmont,
Mhm.
the little bar there, and just buy a case of beer. Never carded them. We would just
Yeah.
break that down into our book bags, and I was one of the good kids. I really wasn't. And we just went right back on campus.
And they wouldn't say anything.
No, we never got caught.
See, you should have had a teacher. You all could have piled into the trunk. And,
Yeah, no.
that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Wild. And the house parents didn't find the bottles or anything?
Well, we used to steal it from the house parents too. Mr. Neba used to throw a lot of parties, and it was easy to break into the refrigerator. He kept it in technically our refrigerator. We'd
Okay.
just break into where that was, butter knife, and have at a couple cases, like 30 packs.
No,
I've seen that.
we would get rid of it same way. Like once it was emptied, put it back in my book bag, go out on a town pass, discard the evidence, grab
We
some more. and
never
come
thought
back.
that far. We used to just
Yeah.
walk to the dumpsters right behind where the
Yeah.
the 3 houses were. There's a dumpster back there.
Yeah.
Too
No.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
would
didn't
just, I
know
would
that.
just, I would
That
just
was
get
too
rid of
much
it.
work.
I was leaving anyway. Why
Right.
don't you just get rid of it? So,
Well, we're coming close to time.
Yep.
So first and foremost, I want to thank you for joining us. This has
I
been
can't thank you guys
a
enough for
wonderful
having me.
time for
Yeah.
us.
Love. It was a great stroll down memory lane again. Best years of my life. Best years of my teaching life. No
Well,
doubt.
well, because there's one thing I want to touch on because I did not have Mr. Martino as a teacher.
Unlucky.
But we did have some run-ins on the athletic field.
Uh-oh.
So I need to touch on, because I do have a question for you.
Sure.
All right. And this is the question.
Yes.
The question is, we're playing the faculty staff versus the seniors football game. And the question is, why would you guys put Mr. Neely on me? I abused that guy for so many touchdowns. I was mossing him before mossing was a thing. And I talked a lot. As you know, I was constantly in people's ear. And your good friend, Mr. Bass, really wanted to strangle me that day. And I really got under his skin because he punted a football about 60 yards
Mm-hmm.
after I scored a touchdown. And I turned to my classmate, who was the referee, Greg Harris, and I go, "Oh, delay a game. Do we get a flag for that?" And he's like, "What, middle? I can't kick the ball." I was like, "No, really, you can't, because it's a game going on." But I enjoyed those times. And
They were
again,
great times.
it goes back to, we were so close in age. Like 10 years is not really that
No, it's
big of
nothing.
a difference, right? And that competitive fire, because I hated to lose. You were a college athlete, renowned, played well at Ursinus, had accolades, and you got some snot nose, as we've already defined in season 1, asshole who was just underneath everyone's skin. And I remember telling you I wanted to play football. I really want to go to college and play football. I
Right.
wound up going to play soccer because, I never, besides 2 weeks at Cherry Hill East, I never put on a football uniform. That was the first time I put it on. But I really, really wanted to play. And you pulled me aside and you're like, "Listen, there's no chance because you haven't played."
It would be very. You were a very good athlete. You were a good athlete. You definitely could have played football on the next level. But we knew that you would be chirping, and we knew that would push Bass's buttons, and we were hoping that would be the result. So it wasn't like, why would you put? It was planned.
Yeah.
So you could cook this. Listen, the more you cooked him, the more you talked, right?
Yeah,
The
yep.
more you talked, the more Bass got pissed. So, mission accomplished.
Yeah. Neely replaced Carpin for half a semester.
Yeah, he wasn't
So
sabbatical.
because Carpin was on sabbatical for that first.
Yes, good guy, but about as athletic as
yeah.
that plant.
Yeah.
I called him Cam Neely every time. I went
Yeah,
to
that's what we all
class.
call. Yeah, we called him Cam Neely too, because he was like he had been like a substitute for probably like 6 years at that point.
Yeah.
Like he was just always coming back. So he's like, oh, we got Neely today.
Yeah.
Like it was at some point, Mr. Neely wasn't a substitute. He was just, okay, the regular teacher ain't here.
Right.
He's going to try to make us work.
Right.
He got different substitute treatment after a while.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
But you won, right? You won. Middle
No.
1, Neely 0.
Yeah. No, but you guys did wind up beating us. It was a close game.
Yeah,
But you guys housed 93, and I don't know what you. I'm pretty sure you kicked 95 ass because
we smoked.
like, who doesn't?
The years I was there, I think, your game was the closest one.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, we were all close in age and we were college athletes. So it wasn't
and young.
yeah.
And we weren't getting Kazempel and just Carpin out
Right.
there.
Right.
40s and 50s. We got 26 and 25 year
Mary
old.
Wagner and Mary Gerson weren't running fly patterns down the sideline.
Go around.
That's the great. That's the other story. I didn't know if I was going to tell that. But that's a classic.
Yes.
Classic. Well, we've talked about it. We don't need to put that out there. Great stuff. Great stuff.
All right. Well, got anything else for us, Dan?
So we talked about sneaking off campus. We talked about, getting 40s. So that was actually what I was thinking about when I was driving over here. I need to apologize to the security guards of Girard College all through the 90s until I left. This one particular instance, I would leave and I'd be gone for about 10 minutes and I would come back. And I'm going and I'm buying 40s and I'm coming back. And eventually security guards start to notice I would sign out at 3:40 and I'm back before 4 o'clock. So now they want to know what I'm doing. So one time I came back, I didn't have any 40s on me. They stopped me and they start searching. Like, what do you got? I don't have anything. I don't have anything at all. So then I got the bright idea. A classmate of mine lived about 4 blocks from Girard College. So I started to take my dirty clothes and I would put them in a book bag, like I was going to do my laundry at my classmate's house. So I would leave and I have the dirty clothes in there and I would come back. So then I got the idea, instead of walking in with the 40s, I met my classmates over by the library. I would slide the 40s in under the gate. They would put them under their coats or suit jackets and they would walk in and I'd come in with the dirty clothes. So one day, one of the security guards stopped me and I had the dirtiest clothes. It wasn't just mine, it's other people's, because I knew they were going to go through it. And they opened my bag and there's like dirty drawers in there. There's just like dirty, crusty socks. And I did it on purpose because I'm like, yeah, you guys want to catch me doing something here? Catch this. And they're like, oh, I thought you were going to wash these clothes. Why are they so filthy? Oh, there was nobody there to let me in, so I couldn't wash my clothes today.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
So you're 2-0.
Yes.
Middle
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, I had to, think outside the box because they were definitely on to me because I was just coming back too quick. Because the corner store was right there. You just walk down there, don't give my raspberry St. Ides or whatever flavor we got that day, and just came back.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
I don't know if I have anything special, but I would like to just give this last couple moments to you. And if there was anything about your career that, anything in particular that you did that made your mom proud that you want to tell everybody about.
Listen, the fact that I'm here with, 2 of my former students, I mean, even though we weren't, you weren't one of my students, you were one of my students.
Yep.
The fact that I'm here, 61 years old, I've been out of Girard for 35 years or so. And you guys invited me back to talk about this. I mean, I obviously had some kind of impact. So I'm sure my mother is up there looking at me saying, damn, you did okay, John. And she's saying, you know what? I did okay because I raised them. So I'm sure she's very proud that I'm here with 2 of my former students. And I appreciate you giving me that time.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I'll quote Fred Shiro of the Flyers coach before they won the Stanley Cup. He said in the locker room beforehand, and this applies to us and all of the Girardians. We walk together forever.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
No, your name always comes up when we talk about things. So
Hopefully it's a good contest.
yeah, well, yeah, your classic line about the life skills teacher and the broom blocking the door and how she gonna get home. That's a classic line. So yeah. So it's I was honored that you were on board. We reached out to you many months ago.
Yes.
And it took a while for us to get here. So
I'm
so glad
excited.
you hung in with us. So.
Listen, I was honored you guys even thought of me. So, and even thought that I was still around.
Yeah, you were too awesome. You were
Appreciate
one of
it.
my
Yep.
favorite teachers.
Appreciate it. Couldn't have thank you enough. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you. Well, that is our time, folks. Just a couple quick notes. Don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, and most importantly, look for us on Founders Day. Can't say what we'll be doing because at the time of this recording, we're not entirely sure, but we will have a presence on campus for Founders Day. Please stop by, come see us, and regale us some of your tales of dorm disorder. That'll be all for this week, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
You know what it is. You know how we do. Peace out.
You have been listening to the Dorm Disorder Podcast. Until next time, lights out.